Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name is Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. Today we are at the Dialogic headquarters in Parsippany, New Jersey, and on our program is the Senior Director of Marketing of the company, Jim Machi. Jim, how are you?
Good. Thanks for coming, Rich. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Welcome back to the program.
Yep, I like being here.
Fun. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
We've now known each other for that's 2011, so at least 13, 14 years.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so
long time.
Lots happened. You were showing me some of the first press releases of...
Yeah, we have some press releases here from the early days of the very beginning of IP telephony. And I was showing you the press release where we had the team sign the press release when we used to have the parties for the release of the product. So that happened, that's 13 years ago now, those products.
And certainly the VoIP market has evolved immensely since then.
Yeah, that was the very beginning, what could be, what might be, and now it's everything, right? And really changed the world. And if you go back to some of those early research reports, they showed tremendous growth, hockey stick kind of things, and nobody believed them. And I think when the telecom, when the internet bust happened, some of that stuff just got pushed off. But it's happened just like everyone expected, and so it's been incredible, really.
Very exciting.
Yep, yep.
So I was hoping to talk with you about trends in the industry and what was the hottest trend that we saw in the market in 2010 and how it's impacting 2011.
I think one of the biggest trends from 2010 is the whole mobile broadband, that you can do internet kind of experiences on your mobile devices now, and the mobile device. And so because of that, you're seeing things like the iPad, the tablets come out. You're seeing video on mobile devices now. I think more people, you may know better than me, but more people are accessing the internet from their mobile devices now than computers. And so all that mobile experience, because of the 3G networks, and now even in 2011, 4G networks that are coming out, are really changing the game and making wireless very exciting now.
Now, in terms of cloud computing, it certainly was an interesting area last year. It's been an interesting area for many years, but especially the last few. What do you see the communications space making of cloud computing this year? Will there be a big intersection between the two?
Yeah, I think this is the year where you're really going to see more and more cloud in the communications area. So if you go back to the beginning of cloud, we used to call it hosted a long time ago, or even before that, application service providers. You were doing websites. It was very common. People would host their websites right outside your building. And now, because of IP and the prevalence of IP and the bigger pipes and all that, you can actually put communication solutions outside. So you don't have to have a PBX in the building anymore. You don't have to have an IVR in the building or a voicemail in the building. And that more and more is moving to clouds. And we're seeing the trends with that. We're seeing that with our customers. And I really think this will be the year where more of that happens. And I think it's natural. That'll happen with build outs. If you're expanding your business, you get a remote office.
Right.
Oh, you'll just do that by the cloud. Or if you need to move, so it'll be natural course of that. It won't be like a spike. It'll just be gradual growth, which is good for everybody.
Now, do you have any predictions on who will be the mobile winners between all the consumer devices? You've got Apple, RAM, Nokia, Microsoft, et cetera, Google.
I think they're all going to do well. They're all going to win. I think there's too many of them, though. Over time, there'll probably be 3 or 4. I'm not really in a position to. I don't want to predict, because I've predicted things before, and right now we're sitting here in January, and I would be expecting to go to a giant playoff game this weekend. But A, they don't have a home game, and B, they don't have any game because they had some 2 bad games. So I predicted the Giants would be in the Super Bowl, but so I don't think I'm good for
You're going to lay off predictions for a little while.
I'm gonna just not do them.
We'll see how you feel on the next interview. Maybe you'll be more.
It'll be the time for the Mets, so we'll see.
So we've got this huge boom in tablets, and this week actually is the CES show.
Yep.
And there's a number of Android and Microsoft tablets coming out on the market. The iPad 2 should be hitting the shelves soon. The iPad 2 case has been on the market now for a few weeks, and I even heard that it showed up. Correct.
Okay.
And I even heard that some of the cases showed up at the Consumer Electronics Show. So we're going to have so many tablet choices. What's the future of tablets?
I think right now we're in what I call the hype phase. Super hype on the tablets. I think tablets will have definitely a place in the industry. People will figure out how they want to use them or not use them. But my opinion is they won't replace laptops. It's hard to create content with the tablets. They're great for getting content from. So if you're just getting content, reading, I mean, those things are great with reading websites and all that. But if you need to create content, people like me can't use them. Would I use them on a business trip overnight? I probably would use them on a business trip overnight. I'd probably be a little nervous right now about using it for 2 nights, but I have one, and I'll let you know how it goes, because I'll take the plunge my next one-day business trip. I'll see how it goes.
Okay, yeah. Keep us posted.
Yeah.
So, of course, with tablets come, in many cases, app stores.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on what's happening in that market?
I think the app stores right now, there's some really cool apps out there. What I see people using, though, are games mostly, and a lot of the apps that are there are really web shortcuts for a web. So, for instance, I downloaded a Weather Channel app. Well, I could get to all that info but I had to go through and navigate weather.com. So there's a web one, it knows my location, it gives me the stuff, and so it saves a lot of time. So that stuff saves time. But I really think ultimately they enable all these over-the-top kind of guys like Google and Facebook to do more communication things. So there'll be more complex apps coming in the future, I think. So
Great.
We'll see.
Well, we need a Facebook app for the iPad. There isn't one still. It's just the iPhone app, which really is lacking. I think that you can do a lot more if you have a native app. I'm sure it'll be out at some point.
Yep.
So in terms of 2011, it's January, so you've got some time to prove your prediction right on this one. If you care to predict, what do you think will be a big technological trend of the year?
Well, in the United States, I think, and we're already seeing it, we're seeing commercials for LTE, right? So that'll just enable more of the mobile broadband power. And because of that, people will use more of the mobile devices even more. But one issue is going to be, people, and we've already seen it, you're getting throttled and bottlenecks on the network. So how do you respond to that? Well, AT&T responded by putting tiered pricing plans in place, and so that probably mitigated some of it. But there's other ways to do it too. You have backhaul optimization technologies that people are going to have to use. But anyway, my point was more and more mobile networks being out there. LTE is one way, by the way, to help the bottleneck problem, is just more bandwidth availability. But you still get all the bottleneck problems, and so we'll see how that goes. But there's a lot of ways to resolve that, and the industry will respond. Great.
Now, next month you're going to be at TMC's IT Expo.
Yes.
February 2nd through 4th in Miami.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on the show and why you're going?
Okay, so we're going because IT Expo is a good place for us to meet our customer base and our prospect base. So that's a good place to go for us. It always has been a good place to go for us. If you want to come and find out what's going on there or why you would come to see us in a booth, well, first of all, as many of you might know, we merged with Veraz in October of 2010. So if you want to come out and check what's going on, it's sort of our first show since then, stop by the booth. We also have some interesting products that we'll be showing there related to how do we interface to the open source product lines like Asterisk PBXs and some new gateway like SBCs and enterprise gateways, so for SIP trunking. So that kind of stuff is what we'll be showing at IT Expo. So come by the booth and you can talk to us and we'll be happy to talk to you.
Well, fantastic. Well, thanks, Jim. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you,
Rich.
Rich.
As always, a pleasure.
Yep. Bye-bye.